Many metropolitan areas boast pocket communities based around the ethnicity of its residents, and the city of Springfield is no exception. This area right here, better known as the South End of the city, has a rich and proud heritage born from the Italian immigrants who made it their home. But as Connecting Point's Brian Sullivan shows us, while the Little Italy section of the city has certainly gotten a little bit littler over the past few decades, the sense of community and tradition here is just as strong as ever.
It's safe to say that when the good people of Springfield traveled to the south end of town back in 1946, there was no MGM Casino, or CVS, or even a Route 91 for that matter. There are plenty of other storefronts that wouldn't have been found down this way back then either, but there is one that never left. And while La Fiorentina Pastry Shop may not have always been located right here at the corner of Main and Winthrop, this has always been their neighborhood.
We are kind of a meeting place for the Italian-American community in the greater Springfield area. At any given morning, you'll find tables of old Italian guys, young Italian guys, doctors, lawyers, plumbers, mechanics, all sitting at a table, all just shooting the breeze, and just enjoying a cup of espresso. Yeah.
At the front of the house, there are display cases loaded with countless reasons as to why home exercise equipment is still a booming business. These exquisite confectionery creations are made daily back here, where the aroma of almonds and sweetness fill the air like something out of a dream. For anyone who's never seen the inner workings of a traditional bakery, it's really quite fascinating to witness the assembly line atmosphere, in particular with their cakes, which have played a major role in their ability to have lifelong customers.
We are not only a multi-generational business in terms of ownership, but also in terms of clientele. So my grandfather, the brides I'm working with and the couples I'm working with today, my grandparents made cakes for their grandparents or great-grandparents, and then my parents made their wedding cake for their parents. We want to see you for your first anniversary cake, and then your kid's baptism cake and the first birthday.
And if La Fiorentina is where people go for their treats, next door at Mom and Rico Danielli's Specialty Market is where folks in the neighborhood can go for, well, just about everything else.
We have a little bit of everything. We sell bocce balls, we sell buffet, we sell grinders and sandwiches. We sell a little bit of everything, macaroni, pasta, toilet paper, wedding soup, divorce soup, chicken tortellini soup, pasta fagioli. We have raviolis and tortellinis, a little bit of everything.
When we dropped by, Rico was working with his sisters Gina and Rosemary, putting together quite possibly the most delicious prosciutto sauce I've ever tasted. But looking around the store, it's nearly impossible not to notice the importance that the game of bocce plays in his life. He even wrote a book on it. In fact, he likes it so much, he named a sandwich for it, the Bocce Bella Grinder. And when he's not here running the shop, chances are Rico can be found at one of the local bocce courts. Thank you. They say the first known documentation of bocce was in 5200 BC, with an Egyptian tomb painting that depicted two boys playing. Whatever the story may be, for the guys we met at the Dante Club in West Springfield, it's a game they've been playing for as long as they can remember.
I've been playing bocce since I was 2 years old. It's my toy. I guess you can't afford to buy any toy way back in Italy. So I used to play in Italy, I come in Springfield, I've been playing bocce with my toy like little kids. To play bocce, it's one of the cheapest sports to buy bocce. Bocce set, it only costs $100, $150, and you're good for life. It's not like you play golf or play hockey or play football. You need a lot of money. Bocce is a very cheap sport to do. It's very fun for everybody.
And it's a tradition that the younger generation seems to be missing out on. But Rico Danielli is doing all he can to change that.
But what I like to do, because we don't do it anymore, I like to get the kids to play with their parents and grandparents. And bocce is a special game where any age, any size, any shape, you could be in a wheelchair and play bocce. It's a beautiful game. It brings people together. We need more of that today. Today we don't eat around that kitchen table with that family. We got to do things with that family today. That way there's less bullying or less fighting and bring people together.
Whether it's meeting up for a game of bocce with some friendly trash talking, or getting together for a cup of espresso, sense of community is still strong here. But will the South End ever be the old neighborhood that it used to be back in the day? Probably not. But maybe that's not necessarily such a bad thing.
In terms of, Italians coming back to the South End, I don't really see it happening. They've moved out to East Longmeadow, Agawam, and they're well established there. They made a little bit of money, they worked hard, made some money, moved out to the suburbs. And I guess that, in a way, is the real American dream, right? But as long as we can, we're going to be here, and we still plan on being a meeting place and a community landmark, as long as people still want to keep coming.